Hi, I took a free day from my job. I have been really busy. I knew that I said that I would be playing a regional with this deck with Novmax. I didn't do it because I didn't have the time to go, but I want to show you a bit of the theory behind it because this deck is really not good. Let's get that out straight. It's not one of the best decks of the format, but it's really not bad. It's really underrated, kind of underrated. So what I want to do is show you how you should build your Noveling deck. I mean, it really doesn't have to be exactly like this one, but the theory behind it is pretty much right. Whether you choose to play 40 cards or 60 cards, you are going to have to consider those points. But first, let me get things out straight. What's the biggest weakness of the Noveling deck? Well, before Isolde, it had two. Like inconsistency, it really didn't do what it was meant to do. Well, it had three actually, but inconsistency was one. It really didn't do what it was meant to do on a consistent basis. Like if you didn't open with Rod and Arm, you were going to lose, and even if you did, you were not guaranteed a win. So that's the first one. Fortunately for Novlax, is always so powerful that it solved that issue entirely. The second issue with the deck was that it was really fragile, and it still is. That still hasn't been solved. Like in this new era of Yu-Gi-Oh, many good things have happened for the deck. So yeah, for have happened for the deck and have happened to protect your first turn one, your big turn one boards. Like that has changed a lot of the perception of, and had changed a lot of what happens with the deck, with decks or with turn ones. Sorry, I got a bit lost in this one, but what I meant to say is that in this new era of link summoning, we have got some new tools. We have got new generic cards that help us to protect our turn one setups. And the third problem with the deck is that it wasn't powerful enough. Fortunately for Novlanx, link summoning actually fixed that issue too. Automatically, Novlanx don't even need more support in that front. They will always have great boss monsters. So yeah, Arthurgus is a decent card, but it's not the greatest of the boss monsters in this new age of Yu-Gi-Oh! However, you can go to actual real boss monsters like Yugioh or that Gambler. These guys are really stupid. Even then, you have other bosses like the Borrelode and the Borrel Sword. Like, yeah, Arthurgus is a bit better than this card, but this card's really powerful for being generic. So you have like many different bosses options now and ways to ladder into them that the deck became really versatile. It's not really linear anymore. So without further ado, let me show you what I built, what I was going to play. So 3 Noveling. At first, I didn't like this card, and I still not convinced it was actually needed. But after playing with it a bit, I realized something. Like, it's the card I want to grab with Assault. I usually don't grab. Usually, you only want to grab any of these guys. With Assault, you really don't want to grab the brothers. The reason as why is because you are usually going to end up throwing more cards with brothers in that turn, and you don't want to lock it out with Assault. However, if you grab Midroth or Yubane, you have a pretty powerful play for next turn, regardless of what happens, like you can summon Isolde easily. The reason as to why I tend to grab Yubane rather than Midroth is that Midroth is more often than not a vanilla, and I don't want to add a vanilla. If I add this guy, even if I still have a board by the next turn, he's going to be useful. Like, he's going to allow me to ladder the king and the token into another Isolde, or Isolde and the token into another Isolde, and add a lot of damage to that board. So this is the reason I tend to grab this one. Like, I'm not going to need his effect if I already resolve Assault, but he's going to come in handy next turn anyway. As whether if I grab this card, he's usually just that cabazols. Like, yes, this card went from great to May. It's just not good, but I shall talk about that later. This is why I am playing 3 of this guy, mainly. And yeah, you could tell me, yeah, you can grab it with Assault and just play the 1 copy. Yes and no. Because what I often do is set up this traps. And if I still have a board, I'm going to summon 1 in the end phase. Then I'm going to normal summon the other 1. And then I'm going to be dishing a lot of damage. If I equip this one with the Queen, it's already 2000. And this guy should be 22. And the token is 15. And Isolde is 21. So I'm already borderline in the ODK. If I have the Actar, and I still have the second trap live, and if I have the Actar or whatever, it's another case. So this is the reason of why I tend to play more than 2. It's 3 because the other Nob Knights outright suck. Like, I could play 2 on 1 Washabat, but he sucks. I have never used his effect. Like, it's really rare that the game drags long enough for him to be somewhat relevant. So yeah, this is why I play 3. So then I'm going to be showing the other easier ones. Brothers, this card is ridiculous. It's like I have drawn like 4 to 5 cards in some turn 3 or 4. Consider that when I say turn 3, it's my turn, my opponent's turn, and then my turn. That's turn 3. So yeah, I don't know. This card allows me to start my combos without noble arms, even if it restricts me to non-sorceress combos. It's still useful because if I open this guy and 2 noble knights, I can do Isolde and draw a card and then have a free Castanet, which is kinda okay when you consider that you didn't open an arm. So that's really fine. This card is really stupid. Like, I couldn't even understand if someone tries to play less than 3. 3 is important. Then I play 3 Vorses. Like, the only reason I still like Interrupt is that it sets up this guy before Isolde. I actually don't think that route provides something that can't be done better with Assault. However, this guy is really critical to your game plan. Like, if you summon this guy and Isolde on the same turn, you're probably going to win. Why? Because if they use, let's say, Ash or Impermanence or Baylor to stop this guy, they're not going to be able to stop Isolde. And if they let this guy go, and it's a bad deck like Altergeist, well, it's a slow deck. I don't want to say bad. It's a slow deck like Altergeist or anything. These 3 cards become really important because they are free cards. They come out of nowhere. Especially Actar. Actar is really good against those type of decks because they can't stop the summon. That's really critical. So, but I don't want to touch too much into that. However, returning to Wars, if you set up this or Isolde, you're good to go. So they're going to need 2 hand traps, and opening 2 hand traps, while it's not unheard of or not that uncommon, it's not something that happens every game, which is good for you. So yeah, this is why I play 3. I would like to start all of my combos with Wars. And Wars has a lot of cute combos that many people probably don't understand. Like, let's say I open this guys and any noble arm. And let's say my opponent doesn't have any hand trap, because then everything would be completely different. Like, summon this guy, summon this guy, summon this guy. Dump all 3 at 1. You still have 2 other cards in your hand, any random cards. So, well, any 2 random cards. Let's say this Forces. So then you go Isolde. Let's say this is Excalibur or Queen. It's whatever. So Isolde. Then you're going to add Actar. No, Actar, no. Sorry. You're going to be adding Lonsalane. Or, yeah, probably Lonsalane is the best choice. And then you're going to be dumping 5 for Actar. Then you're going to be summoning sorcerers. banish one, I don't know, whatever is whatever. At this point you have like boars, so it's whatever. I would banish boars and go Wayne first, but if you have to banish your soul, it's okay. Then your sorcerer to bring like the Dawn Knight. Then Gumbler. Then bring back, then dump lady with this guy. Then bring back the lady, then dump 2. And then you go Cerberus. Where's my Cerberus? Ah, here it is. And in the draw phase, you're going to be summoning whatever with your trap that you dump with Boars. And then you're going to be dumping 2 more. So that's powerful. You don't even need Lady of the Lake. But if you play Lady of the Lake, the advantage is bigger. But you don't need Lady of the Lake for that specific combo. Like, you can do it in many different ways, like summoning the rank 5 Artargus, bringing back Lotsalin, dumping 2, adding the Queen, then using the trap on their turn. So, yep, it leaves you with less cards, but it's still powerful, and you don't have to run this guys, so that's fine. Yep, let me... Sorry for deviating from main point. I'm going to try to keep it faster because I don't want this video to be 20 minutes long. So, yep, this guys I already went through. So 3 boards, that's why boards is important. Helps you play around trap cards. Then I played 3 Gugwayne. Many people don't like to play 3, but you play a lot of vanillas. Like, it's 3 Midrot, 3 tokens, 3 event tokens, and I play 3 dice, so yeah, it's natural to play 3. So then I play 3 Castanin. Many people don't think Castanin is a 3-off, but they are wrong. This is a great card. This is a great extender. I don't think many people understood what this card was meant to do. It's basically another Gugwayne that grants you an extra normal summon if you need to. Like, this card is really good. Like, this guy it's great. Like, yeah, you don't always open the Noble Arm, but if you progress your combo, you're going to be having one. And many things that people don't do is, like, with Sorceress, bring this guy straight from the deck, then overlay, then you've got an extra normal summon. Usually by turn 3, again, turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, that being my second turn, you have a bunch of normal summons in your hand with a Noble Knight Brothers to spare. So it becomes really important in that scenario because you are going to be reswarming the field. So this is what it's meant to do. It's fine, it's great, it's a 3-off. Then the 1-offs. All of this range from tech to important, and I'm going to delve into the most important ones. Like, this guy allows me to run 3 more copies of a bad instant fusion, which is not bad. Like, it could be better, but it allows me to play this card, so I play it. And sometimes you need to summon vanilla straight from the deck with summon sorcerers just to summon this guy again and do more shenanigans. So yep, this card is critical. I could see myself easily playing a second one. Like, if I open a Noble Knight monster and a Warrior monster, then it acts as a powerful extender. So yeah, this card is important. I like this card. So it's so important. Like, I've recently read a YouTube comment where someone replied to me, "Oh, you never summon a Yugioh with Isolde." Well, that's not the case. That's pretty common. Let's say that you open this and this. Not many people knows that any 2 warrior monsters by itself lead you to summon sorcerer with rank 5 king or lead you to Gumblar, Queen, and 2 free discards. Not many people know that only 2 warrior monsters are required to do so. And the people, they don't understand it is because they have never even thought of what they are doing. So yeah, let's say I have any two water monsters, let's say this vanilla and this guy. So I summon Salt, add whatever, it's whatever, add a brick, I don't care. And then I dump 5 for Hector, then I go for Sorceress, then I bring back Hector, then I point, well, this guy, no. This guy is particularly important. This is the reason as of why I ran it. So, sorry, let's say I add this guy. So, R5 King. And then, just with any 2 warrior monsters, no arms, I did, it's not the greatest field ever, but it's okay considering it only took you 2 basic cards to do so. And if you really wanted to, like, you could go like Gumbler, where I left my Gumbler. Okay. Oh wow, here's the Gambler. And then use this guy's effect, like the R5 King effect, to bring back Lonzalin. And then dump 2 from the hand, and then use this guy for Queen. And then if you were lucky, like you added Metrot and Queen or whatever, you just set up. Like you did a Delinquent Duo while setting up, while getting out of the early game with only 2 warrior monsters. That's important. That's important. Like people try to focus too much on the noble arms, and I don't care. If I don't open a noble arms, I can still play my deck. People commit to noble arms too much, and they are terrible cards. So this is why Actor is important. The reason I play Lonzalin is because it's really, really important to play him so you can summon a level 5 from the deck. So yep, that's important. A level 5 from the deck that is an Actor. Theoretically, a second copy of Actor could do the same and could be better, but I like the versatility, and I don't think that it makes too much of a difference. So yeah, strictly speaking, Actor is better to draw than this guy, but it's whatever. And then I play the one-offs. This guy is actually kind of required because there are some fields that where you must leave this Isolde protect by this guy, so he becomes important. So yep. I play Bedweir because I often realize that I could leave like this, and then use a trap card to summon this guy. And it's pretty often. It's one of my easily set up defenses. So this is why I started playing him. Many people don't play him, but they really don't understand why am I doing it. So I want to explain it. There are so many scenarios where I don't want to leave a king against slower decks. So what I usually do is like overcommit, like use my trap, summon this guy end their turn, and then swap. It's strictly a weaker play than many others I could make, but believe me, it comes often enough. Especially when you are facing floodgates and stuff like that, it comes often enough that I had to start playing this guy. And this is basically a Tetch. I could theoretically not play him or play Guashabat or play whatever, another vanilla, but I like this guy for the versatility it adds. It strikes hard. Oh, it strikes for a lot of damage too. Like if you have this guy on evade, you have a bunch of damage already. It's like 24, 17, and 25. That's already a lot from just 2 cards. So yeah, this is the reason as of why I play it. Like sometimes you sometimes just want to pop cards to draw one, and while Dristran could pop the card, this guy needs a card, so it's okay. It's definitely not required, unlike Bedweir, for example. And then finally, Damedrot. It's a good card. It's a great card. Well, I could have said it was a bad card. It's a great card if it goes off, but it's so hard to make it go off, and I'm going to explain you why. Because, yeah, I play 7. I could theoretically play 10, but many people know that I don't have the best of the opinions on Merlin. Merlin is an incredibly outdated card. Like, I don't know why people is still playing this card. It's so bad. Like, yeah, if you open this and your opponent has any hand trap, your turn is over. I don't know why one would want to play such a card. It's so bad. So you're basically left out with only 7 Metroids. So it's 7 withdrawals. It's already like, let me check it out. It's like probably close to a 60% chance to open 7 withdrawals in a 40 card deck. It's just not great. But the problem is that you don't only have to open the withdrawal. That's not the thing. You have to open a novel arm too. Like, yeah. Like you have to play, like you have to open another noble arm too. So what does this mean? I play 10 noble arms, and let's say the ideal number of noble arms in a 4 card deck is 7. 7 and 3 is 10. 10 leaves you with an 80% chance, more or less, to open one noble arm. So 80 and 60, then combine it, probability is not even 50% without even accounting for any hand trap your opponent has. It's so terrible. The chance of resolving this guy is not great. So this is why I rarely use it. Like, this is a card. This is a key card of the deck, not this card. Forget about this card. Like, if you open this card and equip, yeah, that's great. And they don't have it. It's great. Like, it's going to put you so far ahead. Like, you might win. But you don't have to rely on it. It's bad. Like, it's so inconsistent. This is part of the reason as to why the deck never did good. Like, Isolde is a card. This is a card that has been tried across many tournaments and shown to be incredibly powerful. This card is a mess. Has never done anything. Play to this card, not this one. This one sucks. Play to this card. So, oftentimes, like 95% of the time, this is a Cavazol. I don't like this card. It's not good. So, yep, let me move straight to the second part of the video. I'm going to make it faster because I'm taking my sweet time. But I'm going to show you something cool that probably many people has not realized, and is what puts this deck a bit over other options. All of this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14. All of these 14 cards are extenders. Even the fucking Rhoda is an extender. All of these are extenders, or a way to special summon a warrior, which allows you to use your normal summon to extend, of sorts. I know that's not the definition of extension, but it is what it is. So, but you didn't understand that. So no other deck, like if you played Dark Warrior, you should be playing this and this and this and this, and then you have other extenders like the danger cards and stuff, but you don't have this extra cards. Like, even if I wanted to, I could be playing more stuff like Thrasher, and yeah, I have an incredible amount of extension. The goal here is not only to set up Isolde, it's to allow Isolde to get bait. It's to allow Isolde to bait a hand trap and then go Sorceress. And then like go this and still play anyway. That's a goal. That should be the goal. Not resolving the fucking Medrod. Not resolving the fucking boards. Like, if they happen, great. Boards is pretty important. If you manage to resolve boards turn 1, you are really close to winning. But it's not a credible game plan because you don't play that many. And playing your deck Metrot or bust is such a bad idea. Has never worked and never will. It's so inconsistent. Doesn't even make mathematical sense. So all of these are extenders. This is important. Then, because there are two ways to go around this. You either play more extenders, or you play cards that stop the cards that stop you. They are not extenders because no, but they are cards that help you to prevent your opponent from going off crazy. They prevent your opponent from stopping you, so you require one extender less. So it more or less feels the same role. And this is a card that no one is playing in Novlands, but they should be playing 3 of this card. It's so fucking gross. Like, if you open 2 warriors in this, that's so gross. Because they are likely not going to be able to stop Isolde just one out of 3 times when they open, like Ash Blossom. And that happens, but what can you do? But otherwise, this card is really powerful. as it also gives more value to the turns where you can only summon noble knights. Like living Isolde and Kostanen in defense mode, while Midbreaker field is on the field. It's going to be really hard for your opponent to break. I mean, the board itself is not hard to break, but in a practical sense, it's going to be really hard for your opponent to clean this before the battle phase. Like, between these two, you're basically guaranteed to survive one more turn, and that's really important. Like, this is so powerful. Like, most of the decks, even good ones like Sky Strikers, have trouble going off through this and then RK you. It's definitely possible, especially with dangers, but it's hard. It's not easy. So this card, I don't know why people isn't playing 3. They are stupid. Like, I mean, there's people still playing Merlin. This is why I'm doing this video, so I don't care. Then I should be playing 3 called by the game, but I don't have the other one. So yeah, I would probably play it here, like 3. And then I'm playing more copies of a bad called by the grave. This card's not bad, it's just not great. The problem is that it requires an alarm, and then it runs in the same problem as Medrot. It's less bad than Medrot, because like if you have 2 warriors, like I've told you, you're going to be ending on Sorceress and Arcturgus, and then it's Leaf. But it's just not ideal to open it without an alarm. It's just not great. But it acts as more extra bad copies of Cold by the Grave and Midbreaker Field, which is good. I want Redundancy, especially because I'm playing a 60 card deck. And finally the Soul Charge. This is a win button, have been banned, but Konami really doesn't care. Then, like, previous card of the deck. Like, when I saw the support, I thought the card sucked, until I realized that it had noble arms in the name, and then I realized it was stupidly strong. I was the first one to say that this card was stupidly strong, and I still stand by that. Like, this card creams slow and bad decks. Like, the only good decks that don't care about, like, the only decks that don't care about this card are incredibly good ones, like Dangers. Even a Sky Striker, good as it is, it doesn't like to be facing a monster coming, 3 monsters, facing 3 random monsters coming out from nowhere. Like, they don't like that. No one likes that. So this card was stupidly strong. I don't know what were they thinking. Their effect to add is whatever, but summoning from your deck just because it's stupidly strong. Then the final part, all of these cards suck. Like, they're garbage, but you have to play them. Well, this one is actually pretty decent. The other, even the Queen, they are pretty much garbage. So let me explain you a bit why I'm playing 2. This is the only Noble Arm card that could potentially trade 4 card advantage. All of this, like, this fucking Axe of Despair is ridiculous. It's so bad, but whatever, sometimes you need it. But this provides you with 500 LP, which is incredibly random, can come hand in time, but it's really not that amazing. It's just whatever. It's okay, I guess. So, yeah. This card, I don't think I've actually tagged for game even once with this card. The reason that's why I play it is because I don't see too much benefit in playing a second Caliburn or playing a second Gallatin, so I would rather have an extra name so I can dump more with Isolde. So this card sucks too. Many people swear by this card, but it sucks. When you realize that you have to make your deck less dependent on these bad cards, is when you realize that this card is an accessory. I still play it because many of my combos allow me to search her through Lensalin, and if I wasn't playing her, I would be having to search one of these, which is not bad, but I would rather search this if I don't have an noble arm. So it's what I left her, and I'm playing 60 cards, so opening her is not going to be that common. So I left her, but I'm not sold on this card. Like, the light effect is pretty much pointless. It's so garbage. The catastrophe effect is pretty decent, but it's not needed. It's whatever. So I'm gonna put it here, not on the garbage, but it's not good. I don't know. So this is a good card. This is whatever. This is good. and this leaves us with the other. This is okay. It's more or less in the same boat. Here it's bad, but it's less bad. It's something that you might want to see yourself throwing in certain situations. So, and I play two because it's the second best noble arm. And then I played two Excalibur. Back in the day, I was playing like three Excaliburs because it was really common for me to keep exchanging kings. Now, after this support, I rarely have to banish it. However, I'm playing two because it's the only noble arm that doesn't recycle itself, and I'm playing two also in case I have to banish one, and then I need the second one. Like, it's not that all of the other noble arms are better, so it's whatever. And I'm going to close the video with the extra deck. I'm going to make some quick points, and yeah, let's just finish this. I don't know why people never played Free Sold. I assumed it was a thing of budget, like they didn't play 3 Soul because they didn't want to pay for the third one, but since she was released, I have been playing 3. I couldn't understand people that was trying to play 1. You fucking play 3. Brothers allows you to resolve her. The most times I have resolved this card in one game have been 6. So yeah, I don't know why I would want to be playing 2. It's stupid. You play 3 and that's the end of the story. And then Sorceress, I don't have one. I haven't picked up the special edition one because I haven't had a lot of time. Like, I stole this one from a friend I saw in Christmas. So yeah, but it's not uncommon to see me playing 2 because this is a cookie cutter play for the deck. Summon Isolde and then ladder into this and then Eactar and then keep going. So you need at least one, but playing 2 is completely fine. It absolutely makes sense. And then going to Exist. Okay. This one, I only play 2. This guy sucks. It's the weaker link. Like, it doesn't do anything. Like, yeah, it can wipe your opponent's back row, but if you're summoning this guy, you probably don't need to wipe your opponent's back row because he allowed you to summon this guy. So I still play him, and I still play more than one, but he's really not that important. He's whatever. Like, sometimes happens, but I usually just summon him when I want to reassign noble arms. Like, I have, I don't know, let's say this 2, and then like 2 monsters, and then I like summon this guy and use his effect to just reassign the noble arms. That's his most prominent use. So 2 is more than enough. I don't understand people who likes to play the third one. And then I play 3 of this guy. I still don't understand why people can or wants to play less than 3 of this guy. This guy is so important. It's not because if it is a main win gun, but this deck is trying to do something that people still really don't understand. You are trying to set up a decent board turn 1 and then repeat it. So it gets to a point where the game state is so simplified that just this guy with a Gallatin, Excalibur, and Destiny is enough to finish the game. Like, they don't have any more resources to overcome him. This is what the deck was meant to be doing. I mean, that's for Yu-Gi-Oh, but theoretically, that's what the deck should be doing. And why this card aged so well is because oftentimes you can summon Isolde, and you have this guy because this guy has incredibly good sword ability, and then you just go Sorceress or go whatever, or go another Isolde depending on what the game state is, and then this guy brings another guy from the grave, and then either of these girls brings another guy, which is important as it allows you to start cycling through your brothers and cycling through your whole deck. I still don't understand. Like, I have used all 3 in a single turn. Yeah, it's a very complex turn where I had already won, but it's really, really common to use 2 in a single turn. I understand. It's very rare that I don't finish a game where I didn't use all 3. So I understand it. And this guy's really important. Like, at first I thought this card sucked because it's like a bad Pleiades, and I still stand that they could have given it a quick effect treatment to his bounce effect, and it wouldn't have been broken. Like, it was overly nerfed for whatever reason, and I don't care. But the thing with this card is that you just throw it out there. Like, this card does what this guy is meant to do. Like, if they have 4 back rows, you're not going to summon this garbage. You're going to summon this guy, and then you don't care what happens to it. Like, they can only bounce it. Have a monster, then you just crash and summon this guy in the damage step, or if not, like, you just bounce, and if they negate, you just summon this guy. It's so powerful. This is a card that you throw out there randomly, and I wouldn't be surprised if I started to play 3 sometime in the future, because it's such a safe card to throw out there in the control matchups. And then we have the instant fusion target, best instant fusion target, and then the Gambler. Gambler is important. There are so many scenarios where you are left with sorcerers and Ethoricus, and then you can just go Gambler and bring back. And if you haven't used the Actor, you even leave this guy here after Delinquent Duo him. After Delinquent Duo them, so that's important. Like, I don't understand why people can't understand that this guy is really important for the game plan. And finally, so Yugioh, for the same reason, there are some scenarios where you can set him up easily and don't want to go Gambler.